I believe we have a quorum and it is 6:30. I call this meeting of the Charlton Water and Sewer Commission to order. I believe first item on the agenda is the public forum. Is there anyone on this call that wants to discuss something that is not already on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to minutes and warrants. Mr. Senso, do you have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Yes, I make a motion to accept the minutes dated the May. What's the date? Oh, sorry. February 4th, 2026. Is that the meeting? Yeah.
That's the first one.
Say it again.
That was the first one, yes. There's two,
Yeah.
February 4th.
Yeah, February 4th, 2026, and May 6th, 2026.
The secretary comfortable with the motion language?
I second. Oh, sorry.
Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Senso,
Yes.
motion to, do you approve? Just
Aye.
the roll call vote is what I'm
Approve.
looking for. Okay. Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Okay,
Mr. Asenso, do you have a motion to approve
Yes.
the warrant?
Yes, I make a motion to accept warrant totaling amount of 38,337.85.
I have a motion. Are you comfortable with the motion language? I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second. Tom Coleman.
okay. Roll call vote. Mr. Senso,
Aye.
Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Great.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, can I interject something here for a second?
Yes.
Sue, are you taking the minutes for this, or is,
I'm taking notes. Stephanie will be doing the minutes, but I'm just taking notes on who's making motions for me.
I think Robert's stopping after the motions to make sure that Stephanie's had time to like catch up
Oh,
and
okay,
got the
okay.
minutes, the motion right, just
Okay.
because it's her first time, and I think
Yeah.
he's just trying to make sure she's got the wording down before we go on to the next thing.
Got it.
I think that's
Okay.
what's happening.
Get the wording down and perhaps any way that it could potentially be improved for clarity or other purposes.
I think it's going at a good pace. That way I can't choose seconding the motions, and then I can call the roll call instead of Sue going forward.
Do you want to do that? You want to do
Yeah.
the roll call? Okay, awesome.
All right. Okay. I invite Ross Gambino from Veolia to present the monthly operating report, as is the next item on our agenda.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Here's the monthly operating report for the month of May. I kind of added some different stuff in here this month. I added the flows since last January graph so we can just see a trend on when when our two highest flows were in the last 18 months, 24 months. I'll continue to trend the data each month and add to this. We still have, well, as of today, we had 4 people on staff. Our inspections were completed. There was a walking surface inspection, basically just looking for stuff of, stuff that can be tripped and stuff like that. Fire extinguishers and eye wash stations were completed. The compliance. So CDX was filled out on May 15th for the month of April. Our monthly exceedances this month were TSS and E. coli. I have not got the phosphorus numbers back yet from the last week. So I do not have that information, but I think I hope we make it, but I don't have an answer. As of right now, we're okay, but I don't have the last week's information. We had 2 daily exceedances for pH. And the rainfall for the month, which the plant handled very well, in my opinion. I was here for every rain event, was about 3.6 inches in total. This month we also took down both secondary clarifiers. We drained them down. We were able to, clean them out, shovel them out, get all the old sludge out, kind of just do some TLC on them. The 2 inlet tanks, 2 and 3, for at the beginning of the plant, had about a 4 to 5 foot mat of sludge on them. So I had Gabe from Slims come out, suck that out, and then start fresh there. We continue to attack the pH with keeping our alkalinity in check, and we're adding soda ash at both the top and bottom diversion structures going into the facility. We put the second Comag sludge pump online. It had been offline because a coupling broke. So now we have two Comag sludge pumps working, and we also have both trains online. Pump stations. So about two weeks ago, I was doing pump stations with the operator, and I found out there was a couple of generators that weren't working properly. So I was able to found out about FM generator. The gentleman came out last weekend, and we have the North Main pump station. That generator is now working. There is a fuel tank issue that needs to be addressed, but the pump is working right now, and the generator is working when we switch over. The fuel pump was not being primed, so that was why it wasn't being worked. There was also 2 other generators. Old Worcester Road had a hydraulic hose that needed to be repaired. That's done, also by FM. And the Vine Street pump station is waiting on parts for them to repair that. We only took out 16 loads of sludge this month instead of 23 as last month, and it's keeping the process at a more steady and cleaner rate. We've got it to the point now to where we always have 1 sludge holding tank empty on a regular basis. So we have capacity if we take a bigger load in, and we don't have to worry about recycling old sludge to the facility. Our chemicals, we got 4 totes of caustic, and we got magnetite and 1 pallet of polymer. We only had 1 grinder pump call on May 31st at North Sturbridge Road, number 59. The floats were stuck, and Corey went out there and repaired them. So we also did the Route 20 paving last week. Or it started, we were supposed to start on Wednesday. We did not get started until Thursday night. I went out with them. I was with them Thursday night, Friday night, and Sunday night, inspecting what they were doing and the manholes. All in all, most of the manhole structures were in good condition. However, they replaced any non-locking manholes with the locking ones. The only issue we had, and I included pictures and a little bit of description, was we finished doing the Treehouse Brewery one about 4:30 Saturday morning, and about 9:30, 10 o'clock Sunday morning, something hit it. Something just popped it right out of the ground. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get any information. There was a police. I asked the officer who was there. He said he didn't even see a report in his file in the computer. So I don't know what did it. I included pictures of what it looked like. When we arrived, that's what it looked like, the first picture. And then we removed it, and then that third picture is actually after we took it out, and you can see that the whole cast on one side is just cracked, completely gone. And that was a brand new frame and cover. The manhole was the bolted down kind. You can see the bolt holes right here. Those snapped. So the gentleman from DOT, he plated it and he covered it till Sunday night came. And then Sunday night go ahead.
Hey, Ross, how come it says drain on it?
So the ones that they replaced it with, theirs say drain, not sewer.
Yeah, the first picture and the second picture say drain. Just curious.
That first picture here, sir, Eric, that's the one they replaced it with, and it got hit. The one that was there before that they removed said sewer.
Okay.
DOT had here put it in. So, and then on the bottom here, on the next page, you'll see I actually inspected the hole after they pulled it up, and we did that Sunday so you could see that there's no debris and no obstruction. And that's the one that they hit. And then they repaired it, and then they put a new one and patched it, and that's what it looked like Monday morning in the sunlight. So all in all, they worked very well. Route 20 is pretty crazy at night, so it was pretty interesting for me to be out there and see how they did it. They worked well, and it was interesting to see. This concludes the MOR for this month. Are there any questions from the commission?
Yeah, I'm looking at a completed one. It says drain on it too. I mean, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The one here, sir, you're talking on the bottom page?
Yeah, the completed ones.
Those were provided by DOT. Those weren't provided by, well, actually, they were provided by Jimenez Construction, which is contracted by DOT to replace the frame and covers on the road and lift them up. But I understand the confusion. It's saying drain instead of sewer could lead to some trouble down the road. I can reach out to the gentleman at DOT and have him and see what I can get him about changing them. We have a pretty good relationship. We worked together for 3 nights. I'm sure it's not a heavy lift for us to go out and change all the ones that say drain, or at least the ones that are more in the public's eye or going to be around more people and have more foot traffic. I don't think that's a heavy ask. I can call him when we're done with this call.
All right.
Ross, is there a difference between the drain and the sewer one?
I'm sorry, sir.
Is there a difference between the drain and the sewer one?
No, they're the same. They're the same size. They just say something different on the cover, and unfortunately, those were provided by the contractor. They weren't provided by us. So it was kind of, I guess I don't want to say they take with that because they were brand new. They were wrapped. So that's what was provided. But I can definitely talk to John at DOT and see if we can have him change out everyone that says drain with sewer to make it easier for our team and going forward. I don't think that's a big ask.
Yeah, I think that would be the way to go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you,
You're
Rob.
welcome.
The next order of business is the proposed for sewer connection on 35 North Main Street.
Good evening. My name is Corin Peterson. I am here on behalf of the proponent of the project for 35 Main Street. I'm also joined this evening by James Tatro, also on the project team. I'm gonna try to share my screen so I can walk you through how this project has changed since we were last before the Sewer Commission back in March. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Sewer Commission first saw this back on March 4th. It looked very different than it does today. Earlier this spring, the project was a 33 2-bedroom unit project for a total of 66 bedrooms. They were both on North Main Street and L. Stevens Road. The total design flow using Title V calculations for that prior project was 7,260 gallons per day. Today, this project has been significantly reduced in scale. So the project is now 9 separate lots. They're numbered 1 through 9. There are 7 on North Main Street, 2 on L. Stevens. Each lot will include 1 duplex with 2 bedrooms in each unit. So here on North Main Street, that's a total of 14 units with 28 bedrooms. Using the Title V design calculations, we're looking at a flow of 3,060 gallons per day, less than half of what we were looking for your consideration back in March. The 2 lots up on L. Stevens, there is no sewer up on L. Stevens, so these will be serviced by Title V systems. And we're requesting the 7 connections, sewer connections here on North Main Street. I think we discussed back in March, we do use the Title V flows as design flow for the wastewater. If we were using something like the actual water use, we would be substantially less than the 3,060 gallons that we have calculated. So the flow is substantially reduced from what we were proposing back in March. Beyond that, I am open to questions. Happy to answer questions that the commissioners have, and if I can't answer them, that's why James is here.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask Vinny a question about this?
Yes.
Weren't we, didn't we have a problem with it back in March because it was over the 10,000 gallons per day and
No, the big problem is it was a sewer extension, which are not permitted. So
right, they were
everything
running,
up at L. Stevens, and they had another road branching off of it that was all going to be a sewer extension, and we don't allow them in our system at this time.
do you have concerns with the North Street pump station being able to take this flow?
I think it will handle this realistically. Yes, it'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So to what extent does this preserve long-term options once we increase our capacity with the new facility? It's going to be a while, but eventually it will be established, and that's going to change the circumstances.
Yeah, well, I think, Mr. Chairman, that this is this is beneath the level that, I'm sorry?
It's below the moratorium.
Yeah, below the moratorium, and it's something that we can and probably should approve. It's a residential subdivision within our service area underneath the 10,000. My only issue with it, I would be inclined to approve the tie-in and the use. I think the thing that I couldn't resolve today is the tie-in fee, because we're in the midst of kind of resolving that with the rate study.
I agree with Eric.
Yeah, that's my position on it.
I think we get the rate study, get the new rates, and then take a vote on it.
When I refer to more options, I'm just thinking about eventually when we have a greater water capacity that is going from the new facility, that is going to have an impact on the future of development. And if we're going to have a greater development capacity within a few years, I think it would be unfortunate if we were completely shutting off that capacity with a short-term development, even if it would obviously be good to have once we get the rate study and everything sorted out.
When do we expect the rate study? Do we have a date on that?
We don't, the consultant kicked it back to us to resolve some of his assumptions in there for cost. And we had to get back to them, with those cost assumptions, and then they were gonna take it the next step and compare these rates and tie-in fees with other towns in Worcester County.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's probably 4 to 6 weeks away before we're ready to make those decisions.
Okay. So that's where we are now.
Mr. Chairman, can I just ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
So with respect to, my sense of the commission is that you want to not vote on this evening pending the rate study. I'm wondering if we can ask you to take a vote on these 7 connections, and then we can come back with respect to the rates or the tie-in fees.
Well, if we take a vote, does that mean they get the rate now? That is in place now.
I think we could vote that we would accept I don't know the exact wording, but that we are agreeable to take the 3,060 gallons per day of water, but the tie-in fee is to be resolved at a later date. I think that allows the developer to move forward with this plan, just not knowing the costs.
That would be very helpful.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
Tom, you're more eloquent than I am. Do you want to put the motion together?
Okay, so we take a vote to pass to give them permission to that we will allow take their flow, and pending on the new rates that will be decided within the next couple months. Does that cover it?
What did you write down, Stephanie?
Oh, I'm all set. It's gonna be pending the rates, but we're gonna pretty much give them the okay to go ahead, but the rates are gonna be determined at a later date.
Okay. All right. Anyone second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asetso,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Are we moving on to the next item?
Is there any further discussion to be had?
Only to thank you for your time this evening. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Corin.
You're welcome. The next order of business is regarding the.
Well, Mr. Chairman, could I just, it's a kind of a point of order.
Yes.
Just and I guess it's for Stephanie and yourself, that once there's a motion and a second, it's up to the chairman to ask for discussion and then to call for roll call vote. So it's just the order of things. So I guess, Stephanie, if you see that we're winding down on the discussion, it's still up to Robert to call for the roll call vote.
No
That's all.
problem.
Yep.
Do we want to redo the vote?
No, it was, I don't want to redo the vote. I think it was pretty clear.
Okay.
It's good.
I think
dot the i's.
Robert has a pretty good flow going, and I think he's got it. I think he's got it down pretty good. So.
And the next order of business is relating to the the next order of business was scheduled for 7 o'clock. with regards to the Griffin Road water main extension, but it is currently 6:55.
That's okay. I'm here, folks.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is Larry McKissick, BCK Realty, for the Griffin Road water extension. If you'd like to do it now, that is fine with me.
Yeah, go ahead. We're all here.
Okay, so the reason that that I wanted to have this little meeting with you guys is because I don't know if you all know this, but we have a major PFAS issue on Griffin Road, caused by the Charlton Fire Department and by the former scrapyard XL Recycling. So what we're going to do, or what we're proposing to do, the town of Southbridge has already approved everything, is run a water line, a main line off of Route 20 up Griffin Road. I believe it was like 1,300 feet. I have to tie in every house. I have to tie in the businesses, my commercial buildings, to get myself out of a DEP situation that I did not create. And obviously, being a landowner from up here, I have to address the situation, and this is the best way for us to do that. The reason I called the meeting was because, number one, I believe you guys have to vote on that. I'm pretty sure. I know that there's been a lot of moving parts down at the water department at this point. But what I was going to ask for was a reduction in the tie-in fees, because obviously I'm not profiting off any of this. It's costing me, it's going to cost me about $900,000 to get everything done, and I'm paying for everything. It's not anything that I'm generating any revenue off. I'm not gaining anything by this, other than me having to clean up everybody else's mess. So with that being said, I would like to, number one, make sure you guys are on board with the water line extension, and number two, to see if there would be, if we get the tie-ins or something at a majorly reduced rate, so I can save myself an additional, whatever it ends up being for the tie-in fees.
Larry, why are you responsible for this?
So when you're the landlord, so like when XL Recycling was up there, right? They were creating a PFAS level of 300 parts per billion. When the fire department came and put out our initial fire that we had back in 2017, they were using the spray foam stuff, right? Which is now banned throughout the United States. They can't use it. The spray foam used to put out any kind of truck fire, gasoline, diesel, or anything like that. They would use the spray foam, which had a lot of the PFAS stuff in it. I don't know the long terminology of it, but it's PFAS. With that being said, the DEP is very stringent on this situation. I know the town of Southbridge is going through a lot of it. Town of Charlton with the landfill and everything. So the landowner ends up being ultimately responsible for it. So when the DEP steps in and they say, "Listen, Mr. McKissick, you have to clean this up, or you know, they're charging me $3,000 every quarter. I have had to put systems in 3 places, which fortunately or unfortunately are my own places, you know, which cost me $10,000 a piece plus $6,000 a quarter to maintain. It's a very costly venture. And say there's a well contaminated 200 feet from the initial site of where they got the PFAS. Once they establish that, I have to go 500 more feet. If they establish one 300 feet, I got to go 500 more feet. So the way for me to get out of all this is run the water up Griffin Road, tie every house in, and then I will be off the hook, so to speak, from not having to go a mile down the road. I mean, that's obviously a large hypothetical situation. But rather than me having to keep going down the road 500 feet, 500 feet, 500 feet, if I tie everybody in now, it ends it. It's over. So it's just a cost that I'm going to have to assume because of something that I did not do, and as a landowner, I'm responsible for it. It's pretty plain and simple at that point.
So you own the Pete Moss place?
No, I own. So you got to realize I own from the Mass Pike to Route 20 up here, right? So where XL Recycling was, that is that, and where the fire department put out my fire, we have a drainage pipe out where the where the PFAS stuff came out, it registered at 100 parts per million, right? The scrapyard was 300 parts per million. Since they've left, it's gone down to 100 and something parts per million. So with those wells that are contaminated, it's still actually drinking water wells above the limits of what the DEP allows. I had to put systems in 3 places already. Okay, so like I said, those are 10,000 for the system, 6,000 per quarter to year to maintain these systems. So rather than go from house to house to house and just keep on going, I want to run the water up Griffin Road to alleviate any more contamination problems. The DEP is on board. They're very happy about it. The town of Stockbridge, Steve is obviously, we've discussed it in grave lengths. McClure's done the engineered plans, and we're ready to roll. And I would like to have this in by the end of August. That is my plan.
So you lease to all the homeowners, or you lease everything on that stretch?
Oh no, I'm tying everybody in. So if you lived on this road, I'm going to go to you and say, listen, I'm running water up Gifford Road. I want to tie you in. So everyone that I talked to so far is going to tie into the system. So I'm paying literally into their houses, through their houses. I'm paying for everything. Like there's no cost to them unless they want to help me out. There's no cost to them. I'm basically running the line, doing the stubs, doing the tie-ins right into the houses.
Well, I guess I'm missing something.
Okay.
If people own the land,
yes, they do.
And you own the street, or
no. What it is the contamination of the 3 wells, right? Is where XNG is, where MBI is, and where my house is across the street. All right. Mm-hmm. So when those wells are contaminated, I am responsible to go 500 feet from that point in a radius, in a circle, right? So any well that gets contaminated, whether it be next year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, PCK is responsible for those. So rather than take the chance on anything more becoming more contaminated, we have decided to give everybody town water, right? So obviously they're going to pay a fee to you guys. I'm just trying to alleviate the $2,500 fee per house or whatever it ends up being, so that I can just save some more money because I'm the one paying for everything. So I don't want to confuse you. Everybody owns their own houses and owns their own land. But in order for me to alleviate any more PFAS situations down the road, I am responsible to tie everybody in or get them compliant. I could give them drinking water forever. I could do all that kind of stuff. But the cheapest way out is to tie everybody into the town water.
You had said you were paying for 3 PFAS removal systems, and those were your properties.
Unfortunately, it's just the way it works out. So if I have to do every house on the street, right, $10,000 a piece, there's 120 grand. Then it's 6,000 every year to maintain those systems, and then every 3 years you have to replace the UV lights and everything. So just say if everybody became contaminated, I'm going to spend 150,000 a year minimal, not to count the engineering costs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at roughly 200,000 a year if everybody became contaminated. I just don't want to take those chances. I'd rather spend the money now, get everybody hooked in, and we won't have those situations.
These are bedrock wells that are becoming contaminated?
Yeah, they're all, like the wells in Charles, just regular wells.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically everybody would now have town water, which would obviously generate a revenue for the town, for the water department. I'm just trying to get the connection fee or whatever you want to call it. I believe it was like $2,500 a house per situation. That's all.
Is there a larger like PFAS cleanup operation going on there? Is this something that we approve this little section of Griffin Road?
Yes.
A year from now, is there going to be, another section,
No, because everybody will be tied up within the 500 feet. So everything that we have will be done, responsible, will be out of there. So there'll be no other, excuse me, should be no other houses. I mean, I can't give you the environmental status of it. I can just tell you that when I go the 500 feet and I hook up every house on this road and any house that's within 500 feet of contamination, my responsibility is done. And there will, as far as can I tell you, there'll be no more PFAS. You have PFAS in your yard. Everybody has PFAS, however you want to pronounce it. Everybody has it. It's just below limits. Like we go to your house and test the dirt, test your wells, you're gonna have PFAS. Everybody has it. It's just what levels you're at, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm super familiar with PFAS.
Okay, so you know what
but
I'm talking about.
it sounds to me like the 500-foot thing is just some number that somebody has said you're responsible for.
It's the DEP, the actual DEP.
Right,
Yeah.
but they've said you're responsible for that. There hasn't been a study by an engineering firm that says this is where the plume is and this is where it's moving.
Yeah, we have all that. I mean, we have, so CMG's been monitoring this for what, 4 or 5 years, 6 years now. CMG Environmental, Gary Magnuson and Jerry Clark. So we've obviously done through all this with the DEP. They talk to the DEP. We've had to do reports. They have to do everything through the Department of Environmental Protection. So we're doing everything in our power to make sure it doesn't happen again or in this area. I know the landfill in Southbridge is having, up there they're having issues or something. The town of Southbridge water and sewer plant, they're having issues. It's everywhere, and the Mass DEP is coming down pretty hard on it. So
I know that there's a whole bunch of people that know all about this project, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it, and I'm guessing that it's the first time the rest of the commission's hearing about it.
Right. Well, I know that with all the stuff that's been happening down there, people leaving and things changing, and the reins being handed off, I could understand why nobody's heard about it, because I went down there 5 times myself. They hand the plans in and nobody was around. So, but you guys should have the plans. I know that they do have them. McClure's done them. I know I handed the plans into the Water Commission.
They're in our package. So
yeah, so you guys have them. Like I said, it's been approved for Southbridge. Everything's a go, other than obviously talking to you people and making it happen. I was under the assumption that you guys were already going to approve the water line. I was looking to save some money on the connections because I'm paying for it. It's not like I'm putting a housing development and I'm making money off each lot. It's not one of these deals. I'm the one paying for everything. So.
I've been on the board for a year and a month, I think, and I haven't seen the plans for the water line connection or run, and this is the first time I'm hearing about the tie-in fee, the request for a tie-in fee.
Well, it's just something I brought up because it's a question, right? I want to pose the question. If I can save, you guys can tell me no, I get that. I'm just wondering if the board would have a little compassion, because I caused none of this, and I'm not making money off. It's not like I'm building houses and making money. If not only that, you're going to get all the tie-in people, all the people that tie in, the fees from them. So I'm just posing a question. That's all. I hope it doesn't get too confusing.
No, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we take this under advisement, review this for the next month, and add it to the agenda next month.
I second.
Is there any discussion?
Can I ask a question before discussion?
Yes.
When you say I wait a month, I'm assuming is that for the actual water line, or is that for the actual question about getting a reduction in the tie-in fees?
I would think it's for both. I didn't know that the water line tie-in was on the agenda, and I didn't know. I thought it was just the abatement issue. So, but I think in the next month, Larry, what happens is we talk to Chris McClure, we talk to Vinny, and we just kind of absorb this and hopefully have an answer for you next month.
I thought Chris had already talked to you guys, and I guess that's my misunderstanding.
No,
because like I said, the town of Southbridge already approved it. Everything is already approved on their end. I thought Chris had spoke to you guys, but obviously that's not the situation.
Yeah, Vinny, am I mistaken? Has this come before the board before? And
No, this is the first time it's
it
come
has
before
not.
the board.
Okay.
No, I know it hasn't gone before the board. I agree with that. I just thought you guys had a better understanding of it, and I'm just wrong. That's all. Not a big deal.
No.
I have a quick question.
Shoot.
Regarding the other homeowners who are now going to be joining the water line, are they have you get agreements? Are they all on board? Are they willing to connect?
Yeah,
to each other?
we're gonna have everybody sign stuff and everything. We have to do it the right way. I can't force anybody to tie into the water line. We all know that, right? So if they don't tie into it per the DEP, I have to have them sign. I have to have them sign an affidavit or a paper or something of that nature that the attorneys will draw up for them to address. But the people I've already spoke to, everyone that I spoke, there's only one other person I haven't spoken to yet about tying in. Other than that, everybody seems to be on board.
Okay. I mean, I think the next time we meet, we should have some agreement from them too.
Oh, I'll have all that for you if you want me to.
Also,
Okay,
yeah.
if you want me to do that, I will personally get something from each of the people on the street, and we'll go from there. Absolutely. I'm all set other than that. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
You
Is
were-
there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, it is time for a roll call vote.
Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asenso,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
All right, guys. So on the agenda for another month, do I check? She'll email me, right?
Yes. Thank you,
Okay.
Larry.
Very nice, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yep.
And the next order of business is the topic of the privilege fee for 9 City Depot Road.
I get rid of it. How do I leave it?
Discussion to be had regarding the water privilege fee for 9 City Depot Road.
Yes, good evening. That's for me, Randy LeBeau. I'm the owner of 9 City Depot Road. I own the Charlton Laundromat. I spoke to the Board of Health. They want to tie in George's Pizza. That's a part of my property. They want us to tie in George's Pizza, and he's mentioned he wants the entire building tied in. I was under the impression it was going to be a $2,500 tie-in fee. So I started paying contractors to do all the labor for the work. It's about $28,000. I paid Southbridge the $5,000 tie-in fee. And, I'm a local guy. I'm a very small business owner. We don't make a ton of money. And when I spoke to the water department, they told me it was going to be $44,000 to tie the building in, which is not affordable for me whatsoever. If there's a chance that I could just tie in the George's Pizza, which the Board of Health is kind of requiring us to do, if I could do that at a significantly reduced rate, that would be great. Or if I could just get a significantly reduced rate for the whole shop, I could tie the whole place in. But $44,000 on top of $28,000 for the actual labors for my very small, I'm a small veteran-owned business owner. We're not a corporation, so that number is just extremely high.
What's the reason that their Board of Health is asking you to tie in?
So every quarter they're required to get their water tested because they use 3 gallons of water for the dough in the morning. That's what's consumed.
It's officially a public, water system.
Yes. So they use 3 gallons of water a day. They missed one of their inspections for the water. Board of Health reached out to me and notified me that I need to tie into the public water now. They have since gotten the water tested again, and it's completely fine. But the Board of Health told me that they missed their shot, and we now have to tie in. So now I'm sitting with over a $70,000 bill for something that I can't afford that.
Yeah. And who's asked you to tie in the entire building?
This was James Philbrook, the Board of Health.
So the Board of Health said, while you're tying in George's, tie in the
He told me
laundromat.
to, correct. He told me to tie in everything. And then I was under the impression it was only $2,500. I had no problem with it. And then 44,000 came up, and that's I haven't taken home a penny from this property in 5 years that I've owned it. I've been putting the money back into it. Um, the even if I didn't have big expenses, I mean, I might bring home 60,000 a year. So I'm already going to be making no money again for another whole year, working 7 days a week. And I'm pretty much living off my military disability at this point.
Are you aware of what the water rate, or like your quarterly water bill is going to be if you tie in the George's Pizza and the laundromat? Is that a cost that you understand and would be able to handle? So like if we handle a tie-in fee part, and I'm just thinking theoretically, is the water rate also going to be onerous for you?
When I spoke to the Charlton Water Department, they couldn't give me a number. They sent me to Southbridge. I spoke to Southbridge. They also gave me kind of it might be roughly this. We don't really know. I'm sure I could probably manage it over time. It's definitely something I could afford. But if I could just tie in just the pizza shop at a reduced rate, and I'm only paying for their tie-in fee and the little bit of water that they use for the dough, and they do dishes, I could definitely afford to tie in just the pizza shop and the water rate.
Is that an option, or did they tell you you have to tie in the laundromat as well?
He told me I have to tie in the pizza shop. And then when I spoke to him again, I've tried to reach out to him multiple times. I was down at the town hall yesterday, talked to the receptionist, wrote my number and name down, didn't get anything back. So he said the pizza shop for sure needs to tie in. But he also, it's kind of unclear what he's requiring and what the town's requiring. So
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I might be jumping up to the end here, but if we were to take a month and looked at and talked to Vinny about your usage for the pizza shop and the laundromat, and gave you the rates for, like, the quarterly rates for usage, and the tie-in fees for different things, does that month of us trying to get our act together hurt you? Does it suspend things and you're like in limbo until that we get that answer for you?
no, it does not. And like I said, if I could just tie in the pizza shop and get the rate for that, that would be completely fine. I'm just kind of between Southbridge not giving me a number on how much it's going to be.
Yeah, I think we could give you those numbers. And then you would have to work with the Board of Health to find out whether you're allowed to just tie in the pizza shop and not the thing. But I think since you don't have a real cost for the ongoing costs, and maybe that's going to be a surprise to you too.
I know it's going to be high
in a few months. So Vinny, is that something we could do? Could we give him?
Yeah, he has a sewer usage meter.
Yep.
So we could estimate his water usage based off of that.
Fine.
And just calculate it on Southbridge's rates so he could understand what that bill's going to look like.
Okay. Well, let's let Tom go, and then maybe you and I do that this month.
Okay.
So if they allowed you to just tie in the pizza shop, Vinny, that would be a huge difference in the tie-in fee, correct? Am I correct there?
Yes, there's a lot of complexities into just tying in the pizza shop. I don't know how clean cut that is. All the plumbing originates in one area unless that's changed. And yeah, it's kind of spider web through the building.
We did have my plumber. He's already run copper lines through the entire building to George's Pizza because we had already planned on doing this. So they already have a line running straight to them.
Okay.
All they have to do is tie it in. And it's already ready for Soper, the construction company, to tie the main in to the building. It's already been looked at by an inspector and my plumber. So we could tie in just them with no issues through the building.
Perfect.
Okay, so if you could get us the answer on the tie-in just for if the health department would let you just tie in to the pizza place, I think we could probably, it would be a cheaper tie-in, right? I mean, by a lot.
Yes.
So do we deal with the health department? Or, I mean, I think you would have to go through them and get the okay to just tie in the pizza place and let us know.
I can reach out to the health department and get his
Okay.
stance on it.
All right, thank you.
So, how much authority do we have to waive costs for individuals seeking to tie in? Just in this case, we think this is a case where it was necessary and surprising, and he should get a break for that reason, or how does that work exactly?
The commission has full authority to adjust fees as deemed necessary.
Okay.
I agree.
A clarifying question: is it looking for a complete waive of the fee or just a discount?
He's looking for a reduced rate. He said he was okay paying for the single residence connection fee, which is $2,400 and $2,447.16 for a single residence. But because he has a commercial property, it's calculated based on the Title V numbers, and a laundromat could potentially use a ton of water. So the Title V numbers are really large, and that's where the big connection fee comes from.
Randy, did someone tell you that it was going to be $2,400?
Yes, when I spoke to Soper, and we have, it's a Charlton laundromat. We don't do Worcester numbers. We could have good days, we could have bad, but we typically are a slower laundromat. When I talked to Soper, he told me it was $2,500 for the tie-in for Charlton, $2,500 for the tie-in for Southbridge.
And who's Soberg?
He's
Soper
a small
Construction
company.
Okay.
He's who's tying in the mill across the street. So I went to the town of Southbridge. They told me it was $5,000. I was like, okay, you supply the water. Here's the 5,000. When I went to pay for the Charlton side, I spoke to some of the people from the water department, and the total was 44,000, and that's completely out of my reach.
Yep. I will tell you, the rest of the commission, that tie, we don't have any direct costs for that tie-in fee. That tie-in fee goes towards a fund for us to pay for water infrastructure improvements, like the $1 million blue tank project that's coming up is where that money goes. So there isn't a direct cost to us, but there are costs down the line.
Right.
There's a lifetime of expenses involved in the system.
Yeah. So but we do have discretion to.
Seems also worth noting that even outside of any concerns relating to the abrupt cost imposed by the Board of Health, we can reasonably assume that it's not going to be full Worcester numbers, as he said. So we should take that into account when deciding the fee.
I understand the financial us a little more and look at it. If you can get the pizza place, because if you open up the box, then everyone's going to come knocking. So we need to really understand this a little more, and hopefully you can get the tie-in for the pizza place.
Well, I will formalize it and make a motion that we postpone this for a month, that we provide to Randy some monthly or quarterly water usage rates for both the full building and just for the George's Pizza shop.
I second.
Is there any further discussion to be had on the motion? Hearing none, it's time for a roll call vote.
Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asenso,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye. Is there any further discussion for this matter?
Nope.
The next order of business is the water and sewer office renovation proposal.
Yes, so in your packet, you'll find between Stephanie and Sue, they reached out to several contractors to get quotes and prices on updating the office. It's been over 20 years since anything's been done in here. And I think the quotes are kind of right in line with where they should be. The company called Property Solutions came in. They're gonna tear the carpets out, do the epoxy flooring, change all the bed ceiling tiles, paint the walls, move all the furniture out, the whole 9 yards. They're a little over $16,000 for that package. There's some desks that need to be replaced. The ones that in here, they're not even real desks. They're like shelving units that were retrofitted to desks. Stephanie found some online for about $800 a piece. We're looking for 3 of those. And there's some other odds and ends. We need a pod storage unit to put all the stuff in while they're doing the renovation. And the grand total's right around $22,000.
And this company has a good reputation.
The company Property Solutions has done other work in the town hall, and they have good results and great reviews.
Okay. All right.
And this doesn't have to go through 30B?
It's under 25,000.
Okay. And what's I see the 15,640 for Property Solutions.
Yeah, there was a couple of little items that weren't included in that figure that we've talked about.
What's the total number and where's it coming from?
It's coming from, we need a pods unit. There's that should be in your packet.
Yep.
No, I mean, like, where's the, what, out of what line item is the budget are we gonna pull this money from?
I don't have that in front of me. I don't have it available.
Sue, do you know where we can?
That would be general funding.
The O&M line?
Yes.
And Vinny, that includes all the furniture.
Excuse me, Mr. Coleman?
That includes all the furniture,
Yes.
the 22,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we authorized to do something like that, Sue?
What was that?
Are we authorized to do that?
To do the renovations?
No, well, we don't need to get a, I mean, we can pull it from there without going to like town meeting for a.
Well, this will definitely be done in FY27. So the new budget season.
Is there any other company that has submitted another proposal apart from Property Solution?
I'm sure there is. We didn't call any other companies because they had recently done work in the town hall and had great results and references.
I think they've done work in almost every department within the last year.
Yeah, they're a preferred vendor for the town.
Preferred, okay.
Well, I'm inclined to approve this if we don't have to get, you know, if we have a place to pull it from within the budget, and that's something I don't fully
You want to
understand.
bring it back to next month's meeting and we can just double check everything and make sure our ducks are in a row?
That's a good idea.
I'm fine with that. Who's gonna know that? Is that gonna be kicked up to Ashley?
We can ask Ashley to weigh in on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a motion or you want to wait till next month?
We can just wait till next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is a motion required to wait to next month?
I think so.
Just not taking any action?
No, I think it's all set.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on the item? Hearing none, the next order of business is Chapter 61A, Notice of Intent to Sell or Convert Use. A. Young Road, MBL 21A-9 and 2022-B-1.
I'm looking it up. Let's see where it is. Yep. I'll make a motion to notify the Board of Selectmen that we do not want to use first right of refusal for this property.
I second.
Is there any discussion on the matter?
Can you provide a little bit of clarifications on the intent to sell this? I'm new to this one.
Yep. I can fill you in. So
Yeah.
when a property has been placed under, is it agricultural or conservation land or some, it's had some special status, and the owner wants to sell it, the town has a right to purchase it first before it goes on the open market. So other departments have said we don't want it, and now we're saying we don't want it either. We don't need it for some purpose. It's not in our service area. It doesn't look like it's a likely well. And so we're saying we don't want to purchase that property. If it was like right next to one of our pump stations or right next to our treatment plant, or was a good place for a water well, we might ask to purchase it first. But we're saying no thanks. We don't want to purchase it. That's the way I understand it.
That sounds correct.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the issue?
Nope.
Hearing none, time for a roll call vote.
Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asenso,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye. Is there any further discussion on the issue? Hearing none, the next order of business is privilege fee discussion.
Yeah, I think I added this on here just to see what the status of that rate study privilege fee was, and I think it's in our report to give that back to the rate consultant after we talk to Ashley and make sure she's had a chance to look at it. So I will do that and kick it down until next month.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion for this issue? Hearing none, the next order of business is the faulty meter flat rate issue on 147 City Depot Road.
Is the customer here?
It's Stephanie's item.
So I did email and leave the customer a voice message. We never heard back. I didn't know if he had responded to anybody in the email that I did send out. And then Mr. Robert Coleman had asked that we add it to the agenda. So he is, from what me and Sue had heard, he called and was upset that he was getting charged the flat rate due to not receiving the certified letters that went out, I believe, Sue, at the end of April or beginning of May.
No, I want to say maybe end of
Even
February,
earlier?
early March. Yeah.
Yeah, so even
Yes.
earlier. So he's being charged around $300, a little bit more, 77. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Times 4, because he is in a 4-bedroom home right now. So his bill, as you can see on the second page of the packet, was around $70 to $90. And then he hit the $311.32. So he was saying he never received the letter. I also know Hands before me had sent out, or before Sue had sent out letters. I don't know if he ever received that. But last I heard, he was very upset and wanted to talk to you guys, so that's why it was brought to your attention.
Those, all those look like they're minimum charges, is that right? You think, Vinny?
Well, it's a base rate of $32, whether there's no usage, even if there's no usage. So you're looking at like $40 to $50 each quarter.
In usage. So it wasn't a stuck meter where it just never moved. If he was getting 90.
Somebody was estimating his bill based off of prior history. So I recommend the commission abates this bill for him, and his meter has been fixed. So next quarter he'll get an accurate bill, and we'll be back on track to where it should be.
So all the $90 bills that he got, 95, 94, 91, 85, those are all estimated?
I don't know at what point the estimation started, but yes, Cheryl was estimating certain customers' bills based on prior history.
What is a typical 4-bedroom home water usage bill per month, you know?
We don't.
It's really difficult to guess that because of the fact that there could be just one person living there.
Yeah, I was about to ask that, depending on the number of people living in there.
Yeah, so I mean,
okay,
if he's using a ton of water, his meter's fixed. We're going to see it on next quarter.
Okay.
And we have no way of knowing whether or not we've made 6 attempts and he ignored us for 2 years.
There's no historical data for that period of time.
Okay, so I guess we're stuck there, and that's where it goes. We abate the 311. That's the flat.
So he is going to pay for all the water he used, ultimately.
Going to the flat rate was a way of getting people's attentions who weren't responding.
Yes. Hey, it worked.
It worked. He called, we got out there, we fixed his equipment, and I would recommend the board just abate this. And
well, can we just move it back to a $95 charge?
Yes, that's
okay. So I move that we revise that invoice, that bill to $95, change it from $311.32 to $95.
I second.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
I have a quick question. Is there other people with similar complaints who have faulty meters?
Yes, we had a big backlog of faulty meters, and people weren't responding to the notices. Mm-hmm. Some of the reason was they didn't have current addresses on file, so the notices were going to the wrong places. So yeah, we had a backlog of defective meters, and since Sue took over, she got a hold of a lot of these customers, and they've made arrangements to have their meters repaired. The people who couldn't get a hold of got switched to flat rate, and I'm sure they'll be calling if they haven't.
And they're also going to be asking for abatement, I guess, if they hear that we did this.
They could be. We may see a couple more of these.
So we should consider that.
Something you said, Vinny, made me wonder, how many people get bills and never pay them?
Yeah, that would require some research. I mean, we can run agings at any time to see how many customers and their outstanding balances, should you ever want to take a look.
Yeah, well, in most towns, those people are, notified, and they have their water shut off. And then they give us their correct addresses. And that might be something that we want to think about starting. If we have people that are just never paying their bills because we don't have their right address. But that's not part of this discussion. So.
Are we able to request a summary of any unpaid bills for next month's meeting?
Who would who would get that? Who could get that for us?
So at any time, we can print out a report that shows all of our customers and where they stand past due wise. But after a certain point, dollar amounts are leaned to the property,
Oh, they are?
Dollar amounts what?
are leaned to the property,
Okay.
and that's handled through the treasurer collector's office.
Do we have any liens on houses now?
I'm sure we do. I
You know
don't
what
know. I don't know how many.
Hmm.
Because again,
You know-
after a point, that's something that's taken over at the treasurer collector's office.
Okay.
Do you know what that point is, Sue? Like, is it a year, 2
I
years?
don't know.
Yeah.
To what? How does one go about using the wrong address if we're physically delivering water to a particular address?
Right.
So
I don't
there's-
understand that.
There's homes on the system that don't have a mailing address at the home. They have PO boxes, and yeah, a lot of notices were mailed to the address, and they just get returned to you because there's a PO box that we didn't have the PO box for.
Or the landlord doesn't live in town, or the,
Yes, that happens too. Not as
Um,
much in Charlton, but
yeah. Well,
We gotta
maybe,
look into this.
maybe
Can
after
move-
we,
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
yeah, we're getting off the track here, but, you know, maybe next time we talk about, aging reports and seeing what we do with unpaid water and sewer bills.
All right.
Got them off.
Yep.
Okay, so I seconded Eric's motion, to grant an abatement down to $95 for this guy.
Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I call for a roll call vote.
Mr. Groton,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asenso,
All right.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye. Is there any further discussion relating to the issue? Hearing none, the next order of business is McClurry Engineering Water System status updates.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Chris. Just wanted to go over a couple things that, first one that Ross had talked about. One was the, resurfacing of Route 20 from basically, Amazon. It's a little bit west of the 169 intersection, all the way out to, beyond, towards the Sturbridge line. So, we were able to get with Mass DOT, as Ross had indicated. And those structures that were replaced were pretty much every sewer structure that you had in that road, which was nice, you know, that because due to their age, which was probably like 40 years old, the DOT had a line item in there if they were bad to be replaced. And that also ties into water gates that were in that service area as well. So the gate boxes themselves.
Yeah, Chris, not the actual structure, but like the frame and covers.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The frame,
right.
the framing covers, right? So, which basically is building up the block from the frame up. So again, they were every one of them was old and so the fact that they are done now, it's you're not going to have to worry about it. Hopefully into the until that road is being properly redesigned and reconditioned again, and that also included the water gate boxes. Now, due to the compacted time frame, we weren't really made aware of this until it was kind of like we're driving down there and saying, "Hey, we got to make sure." Ross did step it up, and he got out there with the contractor and spent those nights to ensure that all the sewer infrastructure, which was much more substantial than the water gates that you have there, because there's only 3 of those in that service area. But it also brought to the attention that from the basically Amazon entrance, which all those structures were new, east to 169, there are some improvements that need to be made in those in those water gates, especially. So so that ties into, probably talking with the Southbridge Water Department to ensure that, those gates, they are flushing your water line, but we're not really doing much for valve and gate box maintenance. So I think that's something that the commission is going to want to explore to ensure that you can get on all of those and they're operational, because although Southbridge does operate the water system as a whole, they're not responsible for the water system infrastructure. And that is something that I think the commission should be aware of in the intermunicipal agreement, and probably something that agreement should be, sent out to all the commissioners so that you can refresh, or at least familiarize yourself with it. And that leads me into the next discussion. In talking with the Southbridge Water Department, I was made aware that at the May 18th Town of Southbridge Town Council meeting, they voted to approve a transfer, and every year, based upon water sales, is a certain percentage of the sales that go back to the town of Charlton. And I expect it's going into that enterprise account. And for fiscal year 25, there was a total of $86,418.68 that was approved to be transferred into the Charlton Water and Sewer account. So again, that the intention of that percentage was that the town would continue to make improvements on their infrastructure, because you own it, the town of Charlton owns it, and then Southbridge operates it, and their operation only goes as much as, making sure that, nothing relative to infrastructure, other than the hydrants that are flowing and your water's being flushed. So there's a clear distinction there. So I just want to, I think we're going to have to, start presenting to you folks like things that we feel that should be addressed, just so that they don't go too long without, being at least looked at or maintained. So I wanted to just bring that to your attention relative to that infrastructure and what we've seen on that.
Is that something it's all operated by Whitewater, is that right?
Yes.
So could we talk to Whitewater about the differences between operations and maintenance?
Yeah, I think Steve Gregoire was in, and it might have been 6 months ago, but now with the new board, I think it would be good to have Steve in, one of your meetings, just to kind of run through that, so you're familiar with it, you understand like what they're actually responsible for, and how that would really fall back on you as far as some maintenance things, and whether they're not likely to do it, Eric, without you'd probably be paying them. You know what I'm saying? You'd probably
Right.
be
No.
yes, yeah.
I think it might be a Steve and Steve Donovan type thing.
Yes, yeah, and I think that makes sense. Rather getting a third party in to say, okay, we'll pay your rates. You're familiar with the sites, but they're not going to do. My point is, they're not doing that type of level of,
Under the IMA, they're not doing it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it.
And that kind of falls. If you're not aware of it, you're just thinking, hey, sight unseen, things are happening behind the scenes, but they're actually not. And the original agreement had a set aside to ensure that you guys had some money to do those things.
Yes. Okay, so for the board, just so they know who we're talking about.
Sure.
The town of Southbridge hires Whitewater, an independent private contracting firm, to do the water system operations. They're actually based in Charlton. And so when I said Steve Donovan, he's the kind of the manager of Whitewater, and he might have his guys say, okay, this part is for operations, but this additional services we are doing is to kind of maintain the valves and the hydrants and other pieces of infrastructure that we have that isn't currently being paid for by Southbridge. Is that true? Chris?
That's exactly right. Yeah, they're out there doing contract operations, and it would be good for the commission to understand what that actually means. And then there's maintenance on top of that that was really spelled out, because Charlton was adamant about owning and maintaining their own infrastructure. They're like, okay, we'll run it, but you need to maintain it. And again, you're seeing these types of funds that are being sent back to the town for that. We just haven't been, really utilizing those in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
And I
and
think
we're
it's
not doing
important.
anything. Charlton operators, nobody is doing anything to maintain our system now.
That's correct. Yeah, with the exception of Flushing, that's
So Southbridge operates and flushes everything except Route 20. So Route 20 is where they wanted us to hire a third party to operate all of them gate valves and clean the boxes.
Vinny, they won't, unless it's a hydrant. That's all they do is flush anywhere in town.
Yeah.
So
Steve had told me they were operating gate valves in the system except for Route 20.
yeah, it's actually not the case. We want to, ideally we want to go through if there's something they need to shut down, obviously for a connection, they'll do it. But and again, I think it'd be good to have Steve, the manager for the Whitewater Inn, just so everybody is aware of that, and we can, again, just start knocking off some of these items that could potentially be an issue down the road.
Vinny, do we know the last time our valves and boxes were looked at or tested or preventive maintenance done on?
We tried hiring a contractor about a year ago and just never got anywhere with it. He never got back to us. We reached out, we talked to him, and he was supposed to get us a quote, and it just kind of fell apart.
For valve exercising?
Yes, cleaning gate boxes and exercising.
Okay.
Yeah, the stretch of Route 20 is a tough place to find somebody willing to work out there.
How often should it be done? On a yearly basis?
Yeah, annually would be nice.
And these haven't been done in a couple of years?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
We should probably have that done.
Yeah, and that's why I bring it to your attention. You do have funding, your funding source in place, and so it'd be good. And I think we start with Southbridge and the Whitewater and see if they would actually do that. And if not, we could look to other sources and get some pricing for that.
All right, so we need a motion to hire someone or ask Whitewater if they'll do it.
Why don't I reach out to the guys at Whitewater? I know them fairly well, and ask them if they can put together a proposal and come see us at a future meeting for
that would be excellent. Thank you, Eric.
Water system maintenance.
I have a question about that. I don't know if it's related, but last time at the finance committee meeting, one of the town members came up with a question. I even told Sue about it, that we don't have like a formal person in charge of water, like, like a foreman, somebody who, works or manages the water with the town of Southbridge. Is there something that we can have a staff position there? Or apparently we used to have somebody and then that person left and that position has never been filled. That was what the person said at the town meeting.
The foreman position is a water and sewer foreman, is that right?
Yes.
So, Emmanuel, we did advertise for a water and sewer foreman. There are 3.
Yeah, I've seen those. So that person is gonna be in charge of both.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then...
If we ever decide how to select one.
Right. So I hear we're waiting on the HR person to come back from the vacation, and then we'll start interviewing.
I think we have to decide what we want to do with those.
Yeah.
Well, that was it for now. I just wanted to give you guys that update. And so Sue and Stephanie, I don't know if the commissioners have seen the IMA. It might be good to just send that out, so they understand how that, the intermunicipal agreement, that's what the IMA stands for, how what the relationship is between the two towns and what the expectations on both sides are. And then, when I come on to talk about things or improvements or things that we should be addressing, that you understand, why we're there.
Sure, I can do that.
Chris, you have anything else?
No, we're still waiting from Randy over at the DEP on the on that tank, the challenges with that rechlorination. So
Okay.
As soon as I hear back from him, I'll get back with you guys.
Yep. Yeah. You thought you were going to have a proposal for us this week.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Randy. I don't want to, I want to bring something to you. And if Randy says, and then maybe I talk with you, Eric, about what, those other communities, just to help Randy along. They seem stuck in the mud on that. When I say Randy, I mean the DEP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I spent 2 hours on the phone with Jim McLaughlin on doing the same thing in Weymouth. So
Yeah.
It might be good to get Randy and Jim together.
Okay.
And maybe they'll come to some agreement.
Great. Excellent. Okay. And that's it.
Chris?
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on this particular topic? Hearing none, the next order of business is monthly updates and project updates from Vinny.
So I don't have a ton to cover here. One of the things I worked on this month was the 35 North Main Street with Corin. You guys have already heard from her and approved her. Another item was me and Ross have met with several contractors on the North Main Street pump station to come up with different solutions to that fuel tank issue. He got quotes from the generator companies. One of them was around 10,000. The other was around 11,000. The 10,000 was to replace the original tank. The 11,000 was to put a temporary day tank. And I don't have it in your packet, but I received a quote today from Charlton Oil Company for just under $5,000 to put an outside fuel tank, which is a double-walled tank. They'd pour a new concrete pad. The tank would have a roof over it, so it's rain-proof. And I think that's the best solution, but I wanted you guys to have a few different options to look at.
Where is the tank now, Vinny?
So the fuel tank for this generator is located underneath the generator.
Okay.
To replace it, they're going to have to cut the pump station apart, pull the fiberglass shell off, pull the generator out with a crane, separate it from the fuel tank, and then put it all back together.
Yeah, Charlton Oil sounds like a good idea.
I think there's a lot of things that can go wrong in that project. The day tank project that Ross got a quote for is a great solution. It's a temporary tank. It holds 50 gallons. It goes inside the station. It's double walled. It's safe. It's recommended by the manufacturers. So I think between that day tank or the outdoor fuel tank are the best options.
The proposal that was in Ross's package from FM Generator says it's block heater does not operate at new block heater is needed, battery needs to replace, new day tank. So is this 5,000 from Charlton Oil also doing the block heater and battery work?
Nope, it's just for the fuel tank.
Okay.
Yeah, we would still need FM to come out and complete the other repairs.
Do we have an idea how much that would cost?
It's not broken out in the.
Yeah, we haven't broke it down because we're kind of just getting all these prices.
Okay.
Do you need a motion for this, or is this something that? Because we need that generator
tomorrow and get it itemized. If that would help.
Yeah, that would be good.
So Charlton Oil for the external tank and FM Generator to get the thing running.
I think that would be the wisest decision.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll make a motion if you think you need one, but I'm under the impression that this kind of thing is something that just needs to get done and becomes part of the.
It does. The reason why it came to this is there was several solutions to get here. And the original quotes was a whole package of 3 pump stations, and this one was over 10,000 with the original quote. But
Yeah.
when we found other solutions, we can get it done for under the 10. But I figured I'd have it all brought to you guys. So I don't think we need a motion. I think we just need an open discussion on it.
All right. Is there anything else to be said on the topic? Hearing nothing, the next order of business is the pump station generator update.
That we just covered that too. Yeah, it was all encumbered.
So with everything lumped together, and is there anything else to say specifically on that issue?
No.
Hearing none, the next order of business is whether there is any other business unknown at time of posting.
I have something I would like to say. There's a gentleman here, his name's Zach Donahue. I don't think anyone here, other than Vinny and I, that know him from the past. Zach, you want to say a few words on your role?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to be back. But my name's Zach Donahue. I'm from Veolia. I'm the regional vice president for, as of last week, including Charlton. I've previously had involvement in Charlton. I was the project manager for the project from, I believe it's 2019 to 2020. Actually, Vinny was my replacement in the role. So I just wanted to hop on and welcome, introduce myself. I do have quite a bit of familiarity with the project and its challenges. I'm a resident of Sturbridge, so not far from where I live. But Ross has kind of jumped in. I think he's doing a great job. And I just wanted to introduce myself and let you guys know that I'll be supporting him and the team in Charlton going forward.
Hello, Zach.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Well,
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.
Very happy to have you on the project.
Me too.
Sue and I go way back.
Yep.
Good.
Is there any other business unknown at the time of posting to be discussed? Hearing nothing, next order of business is the next meeting announcement, which will be same place, 6:30, the 1st of July, 6:30 p.m. on Zoom.
Is everybody on vacation?
That was a good question because Steph and I talked about that. It's like, do you want to go with July 1st just because that's the 4th of July week? And I didn't know if people were on vacation, or did you want to move it to the 8th?
I'm fine
Because
with it.
of vacations.
I'm hoping to be on vacation.
You're hoping to be? Okay. Well, it's up to you guys on what you want to do. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
I'm good. Everyone else?
Yeah, me too. I mean,
So July 1?
No objections.
Okay.
July 1st it is.
okay.
And with that resolved, is there a motion to adjourn?
I
Motion
make
to,
a motion. I second Eric's motion.
In the absence of any discussion, time for a roll call vote.
Mr. Groton,
aye.
Mr. Thomas Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Asenso,
Aye.
Mr. Robert Coleman.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, everyone have a great week. Be safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
Bye-bye.
Robert, before you hang up, Robert, if you're still there, if you could just swing by in the morning so we can get the bills processed.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
we'll
you.
see. Bye, everyone.
Bye, have a good night.